Hi, good evening, and welcome to Irish World of Sport on the 29th of January, and Monday the 29th. So, as usual, on Mondays things are quiet, especially the racing. It tends to be the worst racing of the week on Monday. So, just a couple of thoughts. Um, at the moment in the soccer, you've got what is very important to some people in the world, as in you've got the African and the Asian cups going on, the national cups going on, and yeah, it's looking just thinking about it. You'd love Anybody would love to see either an African or an Asian team winning the World Cup, the soccer World Cup, but I don't think they're getting any better. It seems to be. I know Morocco got to the semi-final last time last year, but not by playing any fantastically exciting soccer by any means. With the African side of things, well, you're thinking Morocco, of course, would have been the favourites. Senegal have a very strong team. Egypt with Mo Salah. Algeria have a lot of players playing in Europe. But just looking at it there quickly, the state at the moment is Morocco are still there playing South Africa tomorrow. That'll be a strong team. South Africa would be quite strong as well. Algeria went out early. Um, Egypt, yeah, same, much the same. Mo Salah got injured. And Senegal have just gone out on penalties. So um, really surprising. Just you would think they would be. They seem to have players all over the pitch. Mendy in goal played for Chelsea, I think, in the European Cup final. Koulibaly has also, I think, been the centre back and a very strong, highly rated player um, in Europe. Of course, Mane up front, who's the star man for Liverpool on quite a few occasions, but unfortunately they've just gone out. But we'll see, and maybe they'll produce something exciting at the end of it. The Asian thing again, you would have probably Japan as the favourites. Did a few nice things in the World Cup, and their main enemies, South Korea, Australia, of course, would be strong. Um, but there would be a lot of weak teams, very weak teams in that competition as well. One of the weakest would have been, of course, Iraq. You couldn't even think of Iraq having a team, and yet in the middle match and played three matches, they actually beat Japan. So um, anything can happen, but one would love to see, as I said, either Africa or Asia producing something outstanding, like Cameroon back in 1990, that kind of thing, of really surprising people. Well, it'll be a surprise if it happens, because right now, if you have Senegal not even able to win their own competition with the players they have, it doesn't seem very likely. As maybe we'll see what happens. What else is there? It's a quick reflection on our sport here, Gaelic football. A sport I played myself when I was young, and I just came across this headline in our local kind of news stuff, and it's from a guy called Enda McGinley of Tyrone. It's just a headline. I didn't bother reading it because I'm a little bit too busy for reading this kind of trash. But Enda McGinley played for Tyrone, became a manager, and he just made this statement, which reads, quoting him directly: "Fly goalkeeper now critical in beating high press." First of all, that's not English. I've never seen a flying goal. And as for high presses, I have a few of them here, though not too high because I'm not that tall. What I'm saying is, whatever about it not being English, but this is all about the tactics that have come into this game in the last 20, 30 years and have seemed to have destroyed the game as a spectacle, because it's now become a case of the best trained, the best worked up team, I don't know, winning rather than the most skillful footballers winning, as used to be the case in the old days. At least I thought so anyway. I think it came in, this disease came in with Tyrone. I mean, Pat Spillane many years ago when Tyrone first came on the scene under Mickey Hart in the 90s, and they beat Kerry in a final, and he called what they played puke football. And I felt at the time, that's a bit harsh. It's as if Kerry, who were always winning, would basically prefer if the other team just sat down and admired them the way they played. Because, yeah, Kerry are the best football, always have been. So Tyrone have a situation they want to win, of course. And yeah, I felt at that time Kerry you should have keep their mouth shut. But looking at it now, and the disease has basically infected every county and every team, and most of the Gaelic play now is unbearable. It's just it's tactics, a bit like Pepe Guardiola's kind of tippy tappy soccer. The same kind of thing. 50 pass up and back, nobody taking a risk, getting the ball all the way up to 20 yards out where somebody kicks the ball over the bar. And it also, of course, would be the point of view of the supporters of the team. I said the Tyrone supporters back then supporting their team no matter what kind of football they play. But I prefer my team, which I'm not going to say, did play attractive football. We just didn't have enough football players, and they all drank too much anyway. But they could play, and we all go back to the great Kerry team of the 70s and 80s, and they were just incredibly skillful team. It was a joy to watch. And what you're watching now is, as I say, it's my county, boring or skillful. I always remember G.K. Chesterton comment on somebody English saying, "My country, right or wrong." He said that was a bit like saying, "My mother, drunk or sober." I think we'd all prefer a mother to be sober, and in the sense of we'd like our team to play good football as well as winning. Of course, it's nice to win, but not winning at all costs. It just takes the good out of it. And people say the Dublin team that won the 6 in a row was the greatest team of all time, and I just look at them. That was a very average Dublin team, but they just played well together. They got the tactics right. They were very fit, but it's only a couple of outstanding players. And there was a Mayo team around the same time that was far better footballers. They were just stupid, I guess, or whatever, because they couldn't beat Dublin. But there's no way that Kerry team was the best anyone's ever seen. They just had about 7, 8, 9 marquee players, and it was wonderful to watch. That's my rant over anyway. So as for winning this year, I don't know. It's just gone to that. But when you see that kind of a comment from the fly goalkeeper now critical in beating high press, these guys are being bored with tactics. No wonder a lot of guys are just heading to Australia or wherever, getting out, because there's only one team can win the All Ireland anyway out of the 32. Now, out of 16 probably, the way they've changed things now. So I think it's lost a lot of its joy, and it's still an amateur game, or supposed to be. It is an amateur game, and all this crazy stuff. And managers, of course, getting paid well for doing and justifying this kind of stuff. It's a bit sad. It really is. Anyway, that's it. That's my football. And very quickly, tomorrow we've got a double losers probably, but a double. A horse called Supremely West in the 2:45 at Chepstow, and in the 3:35 at Newcastle, a horse called Fenland Tiger. And with that, after the lot of sport at the weekend, I'll say good night.